I never thought my own blood could turn against me like that. My name is Jack Harrington, and for over 3 decades, I'd poured my soul into building Harrington Oil and Gas from a dusty patch of land in West Texas into a powerhouse worth millions. It all started back in '89, when my wife, Anne, was fading fast from cancer. Our little girl, Sarah, was just 2, toddling around our modest ranch house, her tiny voice calling out for Mama in the night. I held Anne's hand in that sterile hospital room, promising her I'd give Sarah the world. Just love her, Jack, Anne whispered, her voice weak but fierce. That's all she needs. But love didn't feel like enough, not after losing Anne. I had to build something lasting, a legacy that would shield Sarah from the hardships I'd known growing up dirt poor in the Panhandle. I threw myself into the role of single dad, learning to braid Sarah's wild curls with my calloused hands, chasing away her nightmares with stories of cowboys and open skies. I skipped out on potential partners, turning down oil deals that could have taken me to Harvard-level networking events, all to be there for her. Friends ribbed me about it. Hire a nanny, Jack. Live a little, but I couldn't stomach the idea of Sarah feeling that void again. Instead, I drilled our first well right on the property, working sunup to sundown while she napped in the shade. By the time she was in grade school, Harrington Oil had grown to 12 rigs, pulling black gold from the Permian Basin. I sent her to the best private academy in Midland, $40,000 a year, and funded her summers riding horses at elite camps in Colorado. Sarah grew into a sharp young woman, with Anne's green eyes and my stubborn streak. When she graduated from UT Austin, I threw a bash at our expanded ranch that made the local papers, barbecue pit smoking, live bands under the stars. I never remarried. Sarah always came first. It was my creed. At 28, she met Michael Dawson at a charity rodeo in Dallas. He was slick Stanford MBA, old oil money from his folks, the type who wore custom boots without scuffing them. Their wedding was a spectacle, $250,000 on tents, fireworks over the ranch, and a custom gown flown in from New York. Walking her down the aisle, I felt like I'd nailed fatherhood. But cracks started showing soon after. Sarah's questions turned pointed. Dad, you thinking about retiring soon? We should update your will. You're not getting any younger. I chalked it up to her being practical, especially with Michael murmuring in her ear during family barbecues. They'd exchange looks when they thought I wasn't watching. Accidents happen in this line of work, Michael said once, his tone too casual over grilled steaks. Falls from rigs. Health scares. Better to have a solid estate plan. It sent a chill down my spine. But Sarah nodded like it was sage advice. They started dragging financial advisors to our Sunday suppers, suits from Houston talking about wealth preservation and guardianship protocols for folks my age. One sharp-eyed woman pushed papers for power of attorney. Just in case. Dad, Sarah cooed. To protect you. I should have booted them then. But she was my girl. How could I doubt her? That's when I got smart. I called an old buddy, Bill Reynolds, a estate lawyer in Amarillo who'd handled tough cases for oil barons. Bill, I said, I got a bad feeling Sarah's angling for something. Help me safeguard what I've built. Harrington Oil wasn't just a company, it was Sarah's inheritance. I'd expanded it to 400 employees, with contracts for fracking tech sold to majors like Exxon. As a kid, Sarah tagged along to the fields in a pint-sized hard hat I'd ordered special. Workers called her Little Boss. But as an adult, her visits shifted. She'd grill foremen on margins, costs, leases, taking furious notes. I want to learn the family business, she'd tell Michael loudly enough for me to overhear from the office. But it wasn't learning, it was scouting. Questions about my succession plan. What if I got incapacitated? That word kept cropping up. I confided more in Bill. Set up a trust, I told him. But with ironclad protections. He crafted a masterpiece. If fraud, coercion, or harm attempt surfaced, the bulk, $70 million, would flow to a charity in Anne's name for abused elders and addiction recovery. Sarah'd get a modest $50,000. Enough for a fresh start, but no empire. What if I'm wrong? I asked. Bill's eyes were kind but hard. Jack, I've seen this rodeo before. Kids sniffing around like this ain't waiting for nature to take its course. Sarah knew about a trust, but not the triggers. I hoped I was paranoid. But her behavior ramped up, popping by the ranch uninvited, sifting through my mail, just helping with bills. Dad. She even brought a geriatric doc to a cookout. Dr. Ellis specializes in age-related fog, she announced over ribs. He probed my memory, routines, decision-making while Sarah hung on every word, fishing for ammo. Her tone soured too, no more daddy, just patronizing sighs like I was a doddering fool. Dad. You shouldn't handle big calls alone anymore. Let the family help. Family? Michael barely knew me. The kicker, she suggested assisted living in Odessa. What if you slip in the barn? No one around for miles. Brochures in hand. Tour booked. This wasn't worry, it was a takeover timeline. I countered quietly. Hiring a security firm specializing in elder financial abuse, common in oil-rich families. They wired the ranch with hidden cams, in walls, lamps, even saddle racks. Happens more than you'd think, the tech said. Kids seeing dollar signs. The footage was gut-wrenching. Sarah rifling my desk during naps. Phone calls. Dad slipping. Need to act soon. Worst. 3 weeks later. Cam caught her in the kitchen, pulling a vial from her purse, dropping pills into my coffee, stirring like it was sugar. Lab tests. Sedatives to mimic dementia, confusion, blackouts. Perfect for her narrative. The escalations hit like dust storms. First, at my birthday supper at a fancy steakhouse in Lubbock. Sarah picked it, full of witnesses. Dad looks wiped, she said loud for nearby tables. You sure you ordered the ribeye? I had. Clear as day. But she insisted filet, shaking her head when my plate arrived. He's having these lapses, she told the waiter. Voice carrying. Heartbreaking to watch your parent fade. Pity stares everywhere. She was branding me senile publicly. Next week. Ambush in my den. Stack of papers. Time for power of attorney. Dad, Sarah said, eyes like steel under her smile. For your protection, Michael chimed in. We've noted your episodes. Dr. Ellis has concerns about your capacity. They weren't asking, they were demanding. I stalled, but inside, rage boiled. Cruelest cut. Using my granddaughter, little Emma, 3 years old. Sarah brought her over, but twisted it. Emma, tell Grandpa what Mommy said. Innocent as pie. Emma parroted. Grandpa forgets stuff now. Mommy says be patient, cause his brain's tired. My chest caved. Then, leaving, by Grandpa. Mommy says you might not know me soon. Sarah was poisoning minds. Not just coffee, erasing me as a capable man. Grandpa. Everything. That night, alone under the vast Texas sky, I saw her full scheme. Not just money, but dismantling my life. I booked the Grand Hall at the Midland Country Club for 200 guests to celebrate Harrington Oil's $75 million sale I'd negotiated secretly. Big toast to the future, I told Sarah. Her eyes gleamed greed, not joy. She thought victory. I planned reckoning. Cams caught her final prep, days before. At the ranch, unpacking a bag of bottles, sedatives, hallucinogens, blood pressure meds. A cocktail for public meltdown at the party. Phone call. Tuesday. It's done to Michael. After his episode, power of attorney by week's end. His reply. And the trust. Her laugh. I see. Once I control it all, trusts don't matter. I could have confronted her, but needed ironclad exposure, no denials. So I played along, dumped dose coffee, faked confusion, misplaced keys, wrong dates. Sarah buzzed with excitement, calling contacts, dad's worsening, worried for the party, setting her stage.
Meanwhile,
I recruited Ryan Fletcher, a former roughneck from my rigs who'd hit rock bottom with gambling. I'd funded his rehab instead of jail for embezzling. Clean 2 years. Waiting tables at high-end spots. Ryan. Need a favor. Might save my hide. He agreed instantly. After what you did for me, Mr. Harrington? Name it. Party night. Clubs sparkling, chandeliers. Linen tables. Champagne flowing. Oil execs. Ranchers. Old friends packed in. I sat with Sarah and Michael. Her in a glitzy dress, my dime. No doubt. Him fidgety. Program. Announce sale.
toast.
Sarah's spike moment. Ryan, our waiter, slipped me a note mid-dinner. Don't drink. Your daughter added something. I stared, heart pounding, as Sarah beamed at guests. To new beginnings, she said, raising her glass.
Mine fizet suspiciously.
I stood, voice steady, before we toast. A story.
Projecteur lit, footage montage Sarah dosing coffee.
Calls with Michael. Pill prep. Gasps rippled. This is what my daughter planned. Drug me. Declare me unfit. Steal our legacy. Sarah blanched. Stammering. Dad. That's not. But evidence rolled. Lab reports.
Audio.
Chaos. Guests horrified. Michael bolting, nabbed by off-duty cops I'd tipped. Sarah collapsed sobbing. It was Michael's idea, but Cams showed her leading. In the aftermath, the Midland PD swooped in. Elder abuse. Attempted poisoning. Fraud conspiracy, felonies stacking up. Bill Reynolds triggered the trust, $70 million to Ann's Foundation for Elder Protection and Addiction Aid. Sarah got her $50,000. Frozen pending trial. I fled the spotlight, selling the main ranch, buying a quiet spread in the Colorado Rockies, pine forests, clear streams. Hired Ryan as manager. He thrived in the fresh air. We started rescuing horses from neglect cases, turning the place into a haven. Media frenzy. Oil tycoon's daughter poisons for fortune. I avoided it, focusing on the foundation. We funded hotlines, legal aid for seniors facing family scams, common in boom-bust oil towns. Sarah's trial was a spectacle in federal court. Dallas. Prosecution played footage. Her researching toxins online, journaling timelines, dad's looking frail, push the narrative. One entry. Feel a twinge sometimes. But we need this more than his stubborn pride. Jury out 45 minutes. Guilty on all counts. 20 years. Michael, 15. I didn't attend sentencing, but read transcripts. Sarah claimed manipulation by Michael. Evidence crushed it. Appeals failed. Ryan brought news to the barn. Verdicts in.
I pausa brushing a rasquamara. Free, I said.
Finally free. That night, I called Bill. Changed the will. All to the foundation upon my death. Let it help the betrayed. Ryan evolved the ranch, more rescues, retreats for elder abuse survivors. Folks arrived shattered, sons forging deeds, daughters draining accounts. We shared stories under starry skies. Healing in community. One session. Margaret, 72, whose boy sold her ranch out from under her. Hardest. I still love him. I nodded. Understood too well. Sarah's letters poured in. Rage first. You ruined me. Then please. I'm your little girl.
Daddy.
Bargaining. Therapy. Amends. Let me out. I filed them. Unanswered. Years passed. Foundation boomed. Programs in 10 states. Then, a call from Detective Laura Hayes. Denver PD, investigating a ring using your daughter's methods. Michael's cousin. Running scams on 12 elders. $10 million stolen. Notes cited Harrington playbook.
Room spun.
Sarah's poison spread. But I testified. Met victims. Extended foundation aid. Post-trial. Launched prevention workshops. Spot signs. Secure assets. Ryan co-led. Start small, boundary pushes. Success stories rolled in. Families intervening early. Relationships mended. On the 5th anniversary of the party, forgotten till Ryan reminded me, I reflected in the barn. Anger faded. Memories of young Sarah lingered. Her first pony ride. Anne's laugh echoing. I wrote her. Not forgiveness, but truth. Your betrayal birthed purpose. Foundation saves families daily. Greed blinded you, but love's the real legacy. Never sent, boxed with Anne's photo. Sarah's childhood snapshot. Ranch expanded, more retreats. Animals. Ryan wed Maria, their girl. Honorary granddaughter. Calls me Pops. Tears sometimes. Echoes of what was lost. Sarah paroled after 12 years, Tom informed. No contact. Hoped she'd found peace. Then, a foundation workshop in Boulder. A woman shared her story, daughter's scheme mirroring Sarah's. Confronted her, she confessed. Therapy now, rebuilding. My eyes welled, redemption rippling. Years later, at 82, a letter arrived, forwarded from prison counselor. Sarah's handwriting, short.
Raw. Dad.
3 years free, but chained by regret. No excuses. I became greedy. Poisoned the man who raised me alone. Remember braiding my hair? Skipping deals for my games? You were gold, I was fools. No ask, just know I'm sorry. Working a ranch job. Helping elders volunteer. Hope you're at peace. I read it thrice. Tears flowing not for loss, but possibility. Replied briefly. Peace found in purpose. Legacy's love. Not money. Be well. Mailed it. Months on. Sarah visited. Nervous. Older. Eyes like Anne's. We walked the ranch. Talked horses. No full trust. But bridges mending. She joined a retreat. Shared her side. Greed twisted me. Prison untwisted. Victims listened. Some forgave. That visit sparked change. Sarah volunteered at the foundation, speaking at workshops. I was the abuser. Here's how it starts, don't let it. Her story prevented dozens of cases, turning poison to antidote. We rebuilt cautiously, family dinners. Emma, now teen, bridging gaps. Michael divorced her in prison. She started fresh. At 85. My birthday, small gathering foundation folks. Rescues grazing. Toasted with cider. Betrayal taught me families chosen. Forgiveness frees. The box on my desk holds memories, good and bad. Real legacy? Lives mended. Greed exposed. Love prevailing. Emily's attempt failed, but sparked humanity's win. Lesson: even deepest wounds heal if we choose purpose over pain. In the Rockies' light, I found that truth.